This is the Me, not the me, but the Say It Me, a tiny little city car that arrived on the market in 2012. And if it looks familiar to you, that's probably because it's got two very similar siblings in the shape of the Volkswagen Up and the Skoda Citigo. So all three cars are pretty much the same underneath, but with different styling, which is good news for us as consumers because first of all, we get to pick which one we like best, and secondly, it helps to keep costs down, making them some of the best value city cars on the market. I have to admit I am a Say It fan. I've always liked their design and the way you get that solid VW build quality but with slightly sportier styling. So it's no surprise that the Me is my favourite of the three. With its pulled back angular headlights similar to the Leon and the Ibiza, despite being small, it manages to still have quite a grown-up feel. And it hasn't gone down that overly cutesy road that some city cars tend to do. So hopefully a car that your husband or boyfriend won't mind driving or even being seen in. Although maybe not so much with this particular model because this is not just any Me, it's the Me by Mango. So Say It have teamed up with the Spanish clothing line to create this very fashionable special edition model, which comes with lots of stylish extras like these gorgeous Alcantara leather seats, complete with Me by Mango stitching on the headrests and various other nice branding touches around the cabin. So while I'm sure there are plenty of fashionable men out there who'd be only too happy to drive around in this car, I think it's fair to say that this one is aimed squarely at the girls. And that's okay, there's plenty of cars out there aimed primarily at men, so it's only fair we get our slice of the cake too. And who wouldn't want to drive around in a car that looks and feels as good as this one? So moving on to the interior, and I'm consciously trying not to use the word cute too much in this review, but I'm actually really struggling here because there's just no other way to describe it really. It's just lovely, from the shape of the seats to the simple little centre console, and I especially like this smooth and shiny dash. Your front passenger will be able to admire themselves there while you're driving, and on a boringly practical level, I'd say that will age quite well too. It's also roomy in here, which I know is easy for me to say at 5'6", which is actually a little bit taller than the average Irish woman, but then again a few inches shorter than the average Irish man. But I honestly think even a 6-footer would be okay in here because there's tons of headroom, as well as adjustment in the seat and the steering wheel for those with longer or shorter legs. And as for the back, it's not too bad here either. I've left the seat in my position there and I think I'd be happy enough back here, as would the person sitting beside me, and since there are only two seatbelts back here, it's strictly a 4-seater, so you won't be able to squeeze a third person into the middle there even if you wanted to, which I think is probably for the best. The Mango trim isn't just aesthetics though, it also comes with some great features as standard, such as air conditioning and a 6-speaker sound system, as well as all the other stuff that you'd expect like electric windows and remote central locking. And then there's some more extras available on top of that. And if you are going to go for a designer car, then why not go all out? I would definitely recommend this Say It touch system anyway, which acts as a sat-nav, Bluetooth for your phone and a trip computer, and it's just an absolute gift. The sat-nav in particular I found myself using constantly, even when I know where I'm going, just to have it on in the background. It'll remind you when to get in lane, if there's any shortcuts, and it's pretty unobtrusive as well, so you can turn the sound down if you don't want to listen to it. So I have the Me for a few days, so I'm just going to drive it around to the places that I normally would. And I suppose I would be the typical city driver in that most of my journeys are made on my own, whether that's getting in and out to work, popping in and out of town, on shopping centres. So I think the most important person in a city car is the driver, as selfish as that sounds. So I'm happy to report that it is very comfortable and also very practical. So the work I do with Cars Ireland sometimes involves me driving up and down the country, which means long journeys on my own very early in the morning. So I like to take a large coffee with me to help me wake up. And this centre cup holder fits my enormous coffee mug. So I'm quite impressed with that. And there's also storage behind it for your phone, which you won't need to look at anyway because of the touch screen. There's only one engine available in the Me, and it's a 1-litre petrol, and I really didn't think that I was going to like it because I've driven city cars before and some of them tend to just feel a little bit too dinky, like they'll blow over in a gust of wind, which doesn't inspire very confident driving. But I have to say the Me does not feel like that at all. In fact, it actually feels really solid. So there's enough power there for a confident overtaking, as well as a really smooth gear shift, a nice quiet engine even at higher speeds, and overall just a really nice, pleasant, smooth drive. So I'm going to take it to a shopping centre now, which would be a fairly regular trip that I would take, and see how it gets on there. Overestimated the length of my arms. So as you can see, parking is really easy. The steering gets really light and accurate when you're going slowly around the car park, and plus the fact that it's so small, you should have your pick of the spots. So I'm back after spending more money than I wanted to, so now seems a good time to check out the boot space. So I managed to get all my shopping in there on top of the stuff I put in there earlier, including my gym bag, a cabin bag, my work gear and some sports equipment. So it doesn't look very big, but you still get plenty in there. So I think that just about covers it. The Me is everything you'll ever need in a small car. It's stylish, comfortable, reliable and also very safe with a full 5-star NCAP safety rating. And it's also one of the nicest small cars I've ever had to drive. If you think the Me might be the car for you, make sure to check out CarsIreland.ie to see the range of new and used models we have in stock right now, or visit your local Sinead dealer, details of which you can now find on our new car channel. I'm Sinead for CarsIreland.ie.